Okay. 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 Hit me, baby, one more time. My loneliness is killing me and I. Alrighty, so that was my incoherent mid-year book out freak out tag. That's not what it's called. Also, if you hear thunder, it's because it's raining. But like, I have to film something today, okay? Alrighty, so hey, how's it going? How's life? My name is Sophia. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I am going to be doing the mid-year book freak out tag. Now this tag was originally created by Chammy, but she has privated the video, so unfortunately I can't link it down below for you guys to check out. But yeah, so this is just going to be me checking in to my reading situation from the first half of the year. Alrighty, so the first question is the best book you've read so far this year. And for me, hands down, that is going to be Children of Time by Adrian Chayefsky, I believe is how you say it. So in this story, we are following humanity as they try to create these terraforming projects all across the galaxy. They have created a virus to help the evolution process in monkeys, so one day when it's safe enough, they can go to those planets. But something ends up happening, and instead of evolved monkeys, we end up getting sentient giant spiders. I have arachnophobia. I'm terrified of spiders. I'm terrified of bugs. I'm terrified of anything creepy crawly. But for some reason, the masochist in me really wanted to read this book. And so I ended up picking this up this year, expecting for it to be good, expecting for it to be fun, expecting to be completely terrified. But I was pleasantly surprised at how much I enjoyed this story. Now, I don't normally read sci-fi, but picking this book up makes me want to get into more sci-fi. The way that the author handles themes of evolution, I thought was incredibly fascinating, and honestly, I was rooting for the spiders, surprisingly. And not only did he explore themes of evolution, but also themes of humanity and the lengths humanity is willing to go through, and corruption and greed and a lot of stuff. It was just so good. But yes, like, if you haven't picked it up, I recommend. If you are afraid of spiders, I would say be mindful, be careful of that. I mean, I ended up enjoying it despite my fear of spiders. But like, yeah. Amazing story, wonderful book, and like, I am excited to continue on with this author's work. The next question is best sequel you read so far this year, and for me that is going to be The Dragon of Jin Sayang by K.S. Veloso. I love this sequel. I love this entire trilogy so much that I decided to do a dedicated review because my heart was just, I loved it. Oh my goodness. In this story, we are following our main character, Talien, who is the queen of this island nation known as Jin Sayang. One day she exiles her husband, and as a result she is known as the bitch queen, not just for exiling her husband, but like also for being murderous. We love that. One day Talien gets a letter from her husband telling her that he wants to meet up within the empire, and so Talien decides to go meet up with him, and our story goes from there. I absolutely loved everything about this. I mostly loved the characters. I love Talien and Kind. They are probably my favorite characters that I've read in a while so far this year. Like, Talien as a character is so complex. It's like, yes, she could be a bitch, but like, as a character, she is so much more than that. And we get to see how she is forced to make certain decisions within this morally gray society. I just morally gray characters is just my cup of tea, and K.S. Veloso definitely delivers on that with this book. I love this book so much. It's my precious baby. Like, if you haven't picked up this trilogy, what are you doing? I need you to pick it up ASAP. Thank you very much. The next question is going to be a new release you haven't read yet but want to. And for this, I have two answers. The first one is going to be The Unbroken by C.L. Clarke. And then the next one is going to be Son of the Storm by Sui Davis Okun. I should look that up. Hold on.
Sui Davies Okumbawa and Shannon
Okumbawa. Sui Davies Okumbawa. Alrighty. So I wasn't sure how to pronounce this author's name, and I looked it up, and from what I can tell, it is pronounced Sui Davies Okumbawa. Hopefully I said that right, and I'm sorry if I butchered the name. Please forgive me, I did my best. But yeah, these two books, I know absolutely nothing about these books except for The Unbroken by C.L. Clarke. You're following a main character who has to live within this nation that has colonized her homeland. And so several years later, she returns back home, and so she has to deal with her country being colonized and the repercussions of that. At least this is how I heard my friend Tammy describe this book. As a matter of fact, the reason why I want to pick up both of these books so badly is because of Tammy. Tammy has really good reading tastes. Like, our tastes don't always align, but I feel like with certain things and certain themes that stories explore, I feel like we have very similar tastes when it comes to that. And so I'm very excited for both of these books, and hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully I get to both of them before the end of this year. Alrighty, so the next question is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. And for me, that is going to be Jade Legacy by the one, the only Fonda Lee. If you don't know, I read the first two books in the Greenbone saga last year, so Jade City and Jade War. I absolutely loved those books. Like, they have everything I could ever ask for. Both books had amazing character development, amazing plot, fast-paced, super intriguing, and especially the second book dealt with themes of diaspora identity, and I thought that the author did such an amazing job with that. I am not ready to read Jade Legacy. I feel like nobody is safe, and Fonda Lee is just gonna kill off all my favorite characters, and it's gonna hurt, but it's gonna feel so good. Don't know why I said that. But yeah, I am just so hyped and so excited for this book. I trust Fonda Lee. Like, in my mind, Fonda Lee can do no wrong. So I'm super excited for the third and final book. If you haven't read the Greenbone saga, and if you have similar reading taste to me, pick it up. Like, do yourself a favor and read it because it's amazing. So the next prompt is most disappointing read, and for this I have two answers. The first one is going to be Redemptor by Jordan E. Fuego. If you've been on my channel since last year, you would know how much I loved you would know how much I loved Ray Bear. I thought that it was amazing. The character development was honestly what made the story for me, and the character relationships. And I feel like the author took all of my favorite parts of the first book and kind of just neglected it. It's so sad because Redemptor was one of my most anticipated releases, and to have your most anticipated release be a disappointing book is just, it breaks my heart. But yeah, what can you do? I don't know, just talking about it makes me sad. The next book was a book I didn't have too much high expectations for. I did go into it expecting to like it, and I did like it in the beginning, and I liked it for most of it, and then I finished it, and then I thought back on it, and I was like, that wasn't as great as I remember. And that is going to be Leviathan Wakes by James S.A. Corey. I think my biggest gripe with this book is the fact I didn't like the characters. I couldn't stand them. I found them irritating, especially that one character. I can't bother to look up his name, but if you've seen my Leviathan Wakes reading vlog, you know what I'm talking about. But this one particular character was annoying. I thought he was a pain in the ass. I didn't like him at all, to be honest. And also, I didn't like the representation. The way women were written was questionable. Questionable to say the least. And not only that, but like, I have heard other people talk about this book, and apparently there's like a lot more stuff about this book that's problematic that I personally didn't realize. And so this is just gonna be a no from me, dog. Like, I will not continue on with this series. I don't think I will ever pick up a book by this author duo. This was a 1-star, and then I gave Redemptor a 2.5 stars when I read it. The next prompt is going to be biggest surprise, and for me, that is going to be Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. This is a middle grade series, and we're following Amari. I believe she's like 11-ish. I could be completely wrong. But yeah, and her brother has recently gone missing, and the rest of the world has given up on trying to find Amari's brother. But Amari, in her heart of hearts, she knows that her brother is alive. And then one day she gets whisked away into this magical, whimsical place known as the Bureau, where they train magical children. There's just something about the whimsy in middle grade that I absolutely loved. Like, middle grade isn't a genre that I normally reach for, but when I do pick it up, I freaking love it. And this was no exception. I loved Amari as a main character. I just love underdog characters in general. Like, she's just a precious baby. She's just trying to find her brother, and she's just trying to do her best in life. She deserves the world, okay? But yes, and the world building was just so much fun. Honestly, I could see myself rereading this book over and over again because it's just that good. Read it because it's amazing and I love it so much. And I'm super excited, super hyped for the next book in the series. The next question is new favorite author, and I don't have a response for this. For me personally, I like to read a couple books by an author before I decide if they're a new favorite, and I haven't been reading as much as I would like, so this was just a long-winded way for me to say I don't have an answer. Next question. The next question is newest fictional crush, and I'm gonna cheat on this just a little bit simply because I read the first 2 books last year, and I didn't pick this person as my new favorite crush, but for me that is going to be Talian from the Dragon of Jin Sayang. She is just a baddie. She is a precious murder baby. She is literally, in my mind, a cinnamon roll that can kill you. But she's also not really a cinnamon roll, so but yeah, she's just a complicated woman, you know what I'm saying? She's just complicated and she's badass, but she's also an intellect, and I love that for her, especially in the first book. Oh my gosh, something about badass women is just, it just tickles my jollies. I don't know what it is. Hi.
Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
The next question is going to be newest favorite character, and for that I have two answers. The first one is going to be Brie Matthews from Legendborn. I love her. I see myself in this character and I just adore her so much, and she means so much to me, and it just, my heart, you know. But yeah, this is going to be my first answer. I'm feeling emotional right now. I'm sorry. But yeah, and then the second answer is going to be Amari from Amari and the Night Brothers. I just really love Amari and the Night Brothers. She is so sweet and she is dedicated. Like, she is really dedicated to her family, especially her brother, and she would do anything for them. And I just love seeing a strong family representation, especially when it comes to middle grade and YA, because oftentimes we don't get that, and so I just love that. And her friendships were so precious to me as well. Like, Amari is a character that is, honestly, she's just trying to do the best with what she has, and she isn't always successful, and I just love her. I just want to adopt her because she's just a precious little baby. I really appreciate her character, and I think BB Alston did a really good job with her character development as well. Next prompt is going to be a book that made you cry, and for me that is going to be Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. I think the combination of me seeing myself in Brie Matthews, and there is a scene in this book where she's talking to her father and they're talking about her mother's death, and seeing that father-daughter bond was just so sweet to me. Like, you can tell that her dad loves and cares for her and only wants the best for her. I freaking cried, honestly. It made me super duper emotional. And it's not just that particular scene, but like, throughout the story, Brie's dad often calls her on the phone, and so like, he's very involved in his daughter's life. And like, there are certain things that he says to his daughter that I'm just like, oh yeah, like my dad has said something like that, or like my dad would say something like that. And I just, seeing that just made my cold dead heart melt. Like, how many times can I talk about this book before you guys get tired of hearing it? Because I just loved it so much. The next prompt is going to be the most beautiful book you bought or received, and spoiler alert for my book haul coming up soon. Not soon, but one day. For me, that is going to be what is this called? Wondersmith. My two choices are going to be Hollowpox and Wondersmith. Both of these by Jessica Townsend. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, the reason I bought these was because of my friend Taylor. I saw her talk about these on her channel, and so I was just like, I have to own these now. But the cover, the dust jacket, is alright. Like, she cute or whatever, but she not too impressive. And then you open it up and look at that. Look at that naked hardback. Hold on. Can you see? Can you see how beautiful she is? Like, come on. Absolutely gorgeous. Do 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 do. Bra bra. This one is going to be the naked hardback for Hollowpox. You open it up. Boo 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 boo. Bra bra. And then this is what it looks like. It's purple, which is my favorite color. Like, it's just absolutely gorgeous. I freaking love these books. Hold on. Like, these are honestly some of the prettiest books I own. I did try to get Nevermore, but you know how the UK be when it comes to hardcovers. It got discontinued, so now I'm on the hunt for it. Alrighty, so the final question is, what do you want to read by the end of the year? And for me, that is going to be The Stone Sky by N.K. Jemisin. I started reading this trilogy last year. Yeah, I started reading this trilogy last year, got to the second book, and I never managed to pick this up because I feel like this series is the type that you go into with a fully functioning brain. And so my brain cells haven't been functioning in the way I need them to in order to read Miss Jemisin. But yeah, I am currently doing a read. It's like a slow read it's hosted by Thistle and Verse, and so every week we read a certain amount of chapters, and so I'm super excited for us to eventually get to The Stone Sky because I have been meaning to read this for the longest time. Alrighty, so that was my incoherent mid-year book freakout tag. I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to comment down below, and what's a book you are most excited to read for the second half of this year? If you got to the end of the video, feel free to comment a little book stack emoji or just comment the word book stack. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope to see you guys soon with another video, and until then, I will see you soon. Bye.